has happened already, broader knowledge. We'll just think from that perspective, and we will narrow down to our specific study in terms of methods, in terms of results. Then what and our connect to the the broader in terms of my implication, what exactly happened. For example, behavioral. We know what has happened already in behavioral finance. I am doing some research which is already in nascent stage, and after I will try to connect to the knowledge what IMRD will help. So here in title should be limited to 8 to 15. Uh, 15 words it should be, and it minimum should be 8 words, and concise and informative, single phrase, and it should main focus or result of our research. If you just read out the title of our any research, it should reflect what exactly we are trying to do. And we should also take care of grammatical part and also capitalization part. So each important word should be start with capital word, and also we should avoid abbreviations. This is again very important. For example, here we have effect of financial literacy on investment decisions on or it can be green HRM practices in Indian hospitality sector. So title means it should be, we should be following these, conditions, then only it will be clear. When we are choosing title for our research, we should keep in mind a few aspects. And our should be, it should be an emerging issue, or there should be something new. Okay, there should not be something repetitive. Repetitive title should not be there, and our research title should be searchable, and it can be should be available, and also it can be easily accessible. And sometimes our research title will be from title in the sense deciding where how to decide our research paper or research work. It can be from the specialization. The choose from a particular domain itself, and maybe it's on avenues recommended by. Sometimes what will happen when we go through the previous researchers that research papers, at the end of every research paper there will be some limitations or recommended for future studies. You can just of them, and based on that you can decide what title we can follow. Just a minute. So every research should also be citability, means what? Whenever we are it should be, I mean, somebody, the future researcher should refer our research. So when they conduct the research in the same domain, it should be easily available to them, and also they should happily cite our work. Take into consideration. Sometimes our research work should be based on theoretical and conceptual foundation. And this should be clearly mentioned who is the author. There may be one author or two authors or even more than two authors. We should clearly tell this is our designation. The corresponding author we have to clearly mention, because all the corresponding communications, correspondence means sometimes review messages or emails we will get, or responding to them, all will be held with one particular author. That's what we have to always, if there are more than specify clear author. And this is again very important part of the research paper. Abstract. See, abstract is just a summary of the whole research work that we have done. That will be what just 150, 250 words we are just writing about the entire research work, but we are placing at the first place of the research work, research paper. So which is actually done, I mean, written at the end, but placed in the first place of the research paper. So it should include the introduction and purpose research, why this research is necessary today. And we should clearly mention what approach or technique we have followed, whether it is a qualitative research technique or quantitative technique. And sometimes also we have to clearly mention what kind of data was collected to support our research question. And we have to clearly mention something is happening. So we should also clearly mention the findings, the main core findings of the research work. And implication, what these findings mean for the field. Implication in the sense how your results can be used for solving the problem. Originality, how your research is different from existing literature, that we have to clearly mention. And this whole part should be in maximum 150 to 250 words, but this depends on the journals. Okay, some journals ask us to just write in 200 words. Some journals ask us 300 words. So it depends, but usually 150 to 250 words, we have to cover the summary of entire research paper, and it should be placed at the first place. There is supposed to be 4 to 8 keywords. So these keywords we have to identify from our research work and write just after abstract, because it will help us to identify easily using these keywords, and also it will help us for citation. And third important component is introduction part. So in introduction, what we should cover? Mainly we should, what we are doing. Okay. So we should actually tell what exactly we are doing, why that research is important in the current scenario, and what gaps we have identified in that particular literature. So there may be so many gaps, in fact, but what exactly, how many of those gaps we are trying to address? So through that particular existing research work, we have to highlight them. Unresolved question is there are gaps only. And also we have to clearly mention what research questions we are trying to answer. If there are any hypotheses, obviously that we have to mention in this introduction part. And also if there are any terms and concepts which are very relevant to our research, in terms of our audience context, we have to define them clearly. And we should end with this introduction part with a clear purpose or hypothesis. So these aspects should be covered in introduction part. And in literature, everybody knows it's just a progression. Progression means it's just a continuation of knowledge to the existing knowledge body. And here we have to overview, means we have to give an overview about research that are related to our research topic. We should clearly identify research gaps, if there are any controversies, and we have to found a foundation for our current research. So if anybody asks why this particular research you are doing, so it is, you can just tell them it is all because of the result of exhaustive analysis of existing research works. That we can clearly mention. And we should highlight how our particular study will add to the existing knowledge body. And we should cite all the information. It means what and all research papers or existing research work we have covered. It means source them for our research work. We should cite them. Okay, that is, citation is very important here, because it's like giving credit to the people or the researchers who have created some knowledge. And research methodology, what we supposed to cover in research methodology? It is just a blueprint about our entire research work. So what kind of research approach we are using, and how, what methods of research we are, using for particular research work, and how we are, how, so here, there are so many things, in fact, like research design, we have to clearly mention. So it can be sometimes descriptive research, sometimes it is experimental. Descriptive means we are just describing the current phenomena. We are not drawing any conclusion out of it, but we are just describing a particular research problem. That's all. Explorative means we are drawing some conclusion out of it. So we are also telling why that is happening. If that is the kind of research work we are doing, then it is an explorative. Sometimes it will be experimental. Experimental means, let's assume there are two groups, group 1, group 2. What we do, we give training to group 1, we don't give training to group 2. And we test their knowledge about that particular topic. So obviously group 2, the who has received, if there is group in understanding, then it is an experimental. Usually experimental happens here in behavioral finance or behavioral studies and also in science. And here clearly we have to mention research technique, whether it is qualitative or quantitative or mix of both. And research methods we have to mention, and research instruments, what instruments we are we have used for collecting data, whether it is questionnaire or interview. And also we have to talk about sampling part here. So that is subset of our population. Clearly define what is our sample, okay, and sample technique also. So when we are collecting that data from particular, what sampling technique we are using, probability or non-probability. So if it is probability sampling technique, what is that? Whether it is a simple random, systematic, or cluster. If it is non-probabilistic sampling technique, then it is whether convenience or purposive, snowball or quota. We have to clearly mention these in the research methodology. And data collection part we have to mention. So how are you collecting data? If it is a primary data, are you collecting from surveys or interviews or observation? If it is secondary data, from which source you are collecting data? For example, sometimes we study about where are you sourcing that data from, whether it is NSC, BSc, how many years, what companies, all this. And then data analysis methods, you have to mention clearly what statistical techniques you are using. Sometimes there will be obviously research limitations in terms of time period, in terms of variables, excluded some variables, which we have identified through our literature survey, but we are not studying. So that you have to clearly mention here, which variables, which are part of theory, but we are missing them. And sometimes there will be bias, because if we are working out, so if we are collecting primary data and analyzing, then there will be always bias that we have to mention. Sometimes in terms of geography, location wise, there will be some limitations that we have to clearly mention. I don't know why it is happening like this every time. Mhm. Okay, sorry for that. And very important that we have to mention in our methodology is that validity and reliability part. So here we should talk about the variables validity. So this happens through different, again, tests that we have to clearly mention. And reliability also, reliability means which talks about consistency in the data. So that we should mention. Also cover ethical considerations. Sometimes we have to get approvals. Huh? So ethical considerations, sometimes when we collect data, confidential data, we have to take approval from the consultant. Suppose if I'm studying about uh, Shrinivasa University students, but Shrinivasa University means I have to get permission from the Vice Chancellor. In the same way, anybody, wherever consent we have to take it, and the data which is collected should be confidential. So regarding that, there should be a mention. And the next important part of research paper is results. So under results part, what we'll do, we will just mention the findings. It may be, we use here graphs, tables, figures, and also we do statistical techniques just to mention what we have. So we should not mention anything about the drawing conclusion or some what the stuff or like that. So and highlight certain trends. We should always avoid interpretation here. We should only focus on what presenting the data. So we should not tell why something is happening like that. Okay, so if we have got some result, why it is happening like that, we should not mention. We should not draw. Next important part there we should cover. So in discussion part, so why that particular result has happened. So those things you can cover in discussion part, and you can also compare your results with the previous results. Sometimes there will be, or you may get some contradictory results. You can just mention my results are in similarity with so and so person's result, or it may be contradicting existing research work. So that we can clearly mention in discussion part. And also we have to clearly address here some limitations of study and potential sources of error. So what it means, if we in terms of analysis part or variable, so that we can mention here also in discussion part, so that future researchers can take. And also we should and practical implications, means how this particular research is helping the society or a particular domain, that we can clearly mention in the discussion part. Click cursor. Okay. So in conclusion part, we will again recap the major findings, what findings we have got, and here we can give. So this is very important. Every researcher should tell, is there anything left out in that particular research? Can be mentioned in the conclusion part, what future researchers can do further. And also how your findings answer the research question or support the answer. So I told you in the beginning that research has only 4 component, main component: identifying a problem, and we try to address that problem through analysis. So here conclusion part, we have to clearly mention that whether that question is addressed or it is left out. Just it is, because you might not have got the answer through question, sorry, your research work. So that we can mention. And the last part is references. Here, so references means it is just a detailed about the sources that we have used for our research. Maybe research work, research papers, textbooks we might have used, newspaper we might have used, sometimes interview scripts we might have used. So that we have to clearly mention here. Click just. Okay. Biಡಿ. So all cited sources in a consistent reference style. We should ensure, means everything, we should not leave any source used for our research. And it supports because ethics in the sense, see, when we are clear writing the source, it means that we are giving a credit to that particular researcher who has already done, right? That's what it is, ethics in research that we should follow. So usually 80% of our total references should be from last 5 years. Should not use like last 20-30 years work and only show that particular thing. So the references or research which we follow should be at least 80% the previous 5 years. Remaining 20% can be the last. In the beginning you can mention, important one. So referencing style will be what we follow, usually API style. So Harvard style is there, APA style is there, MLA style, Chicago, IEEE. But our social research work means social science, we use APA style referencing. So if we have to, we have to follow only this. So there should not be mix of one or two. Okay. So consistent style should be the referencing style here. If I'm using APA, throughout my study, I should use only APA style for citation and for referencing. So these are optional. Okay. We can, mention abbreviations. So if there are so many abbreviations we have used, you can just make a list of it and, mention that in the research paper. And sometimes we have to thank the people who have supported throughout our research work. It may be research fellows, means the contributors, and it can be funding agencies, or it can be our own institution. So it has given us, space and some resources. For that, you can, that thanking message you can cover under acknowledgement. And there will be some appendices like questionnaire, raw data. So when I'm studying about a particular stock or market, so there will be huge data that I cannot show in the body of the research paper, shown in the appendices. And also sometimes there will be huge calculations. All calculations we cannot mention in the paper. So that can be put under appendices. So these are optional, but some standard research journals, they ask us to mention abbreviations, acknowledgement, and appendices. So post writing, what we supposed to do? So once our paper is ready, please give it to somebody who is good in English. Maybe any English professor, to just proofread it. If there are any grammatical errors or typographical errors, they can identify and correct it. Then next. So then we should consider feedback from our peers, our mentors. Ask our only our experts who are in that particular field. Then and ethical compliance check is very important. So the paper is in of everything. Better we should check it for plagiarism. So there are so many tools available for it, but the best one is Turnitin, Urkund is there, and iAuthenticate. So these are some of the tools which are available to check plagiarism similarity index. Usually it's supposed to be less than 10%. Okay. So nowadays, most of the researchers are using AI tools for generating content. So even these Turnitin and all identify whether the data is AI generated or it is human generated. So we should be very careful here. So we can definitely use AI tools. I'm not mentioning should not use, but it should increase our, we can use it for beautification. So we can use it for systematically, but we cannot use it entirely for generating the content. That should not happen. See, to look good, we will use no cosmetics and all like that. It should be, but it should not be whole body itself, right? So that I can talk about AI. Next, Okay. The practical tips I can give for research writing is, so this is very important, which most of us actually hate. So that is reading extensively before writing. Whether it is me, you, or many people, there are only 5-10% who are extensively reading. And we should maintain a diary journal for our research work, which we don't do, but we must do it actually. And we should prepare an outline before drafting. I should know what I'm writing. So that outline print, the blueprint should be there for any research work. And we should write regularly. So writing today, forgetting for 1 month, and after 1 month again writing something means that also will not be there. So even if it is small part, okay, we should do it regularly. Then only we can definitely create a good research work. And we should always get a from our experts or mentors or PR group. And last one is, so we should attend webinars, workshops like this, because see, if I'm talking something today, it is all because during my research journey, I had been to different places, even IIMs, IITs. I learned many things. So then only we can apply those learnings into our research work and get a good result. That is the only way. So nowadays we have so many resources to. In fact, YouTube is the best source. If you ask me, great professors work is there. So means the teachings are available. Through them only we can learn. That is a kind of world we are living in today. So this is all about research paper structure. If you have any questions, please ask me. So before I move on to another important aspect. Yes, madam. Citation, yes, madam. Yes, madam. Yes. See, if the same result is from the two work, what you mean to say? Some both, that is what you mean to mean? Okay. So you mean to say that in my research work, I have mentioned somebody's, and you want to refer my work. So you have to check who is actually the original source of that concept, or yes, you can. The previous person, because his work I have taken. See, it is not generated by me. Somebody has generated, I have quoted this. So when we cite, usually we should give credit to the person who has generated it, original author. So I have just rephrased it and told that somebody has done it. It's not mine, it is somebody's. So my output, you can directly quote. So I have got some result. So if you are quoting that, if you are citing that, then you can mention my name. Right? Yes, ma'am. See, that is what, madam. There are two different techniques. So what you are talking about is qualitative research. So usually in qualitative research, sample size very minimal. So this can be my sample size. So no, madam, there is nothing. Justify means that is what, madam, you are just studying their behavior, interacting with them, not once, twice, thrice. So there are even ethnographical, studies, which are there in, we have to stay with them. We have to be there in that group. We have to observe their behavior. And then only based on our vision, we are just writing. But there is nothing as such. Yeah, there should be this much only sample size. Nothing as such, madam. It can be even one organization, one unit also. Like what we use in quantitative, we have formula, we have thumb rule. So based on the number of items in our questionnaire, we can decide how many respondents should be there. Every item should have at least 10 respondents. If I'm using around 50 items in my research, there should be minimum 500 respondents. So there is even standard, madam. When your population size increase and is more than 10,000, minimum sample size should be 384. It is a thumb rule. So through three different ways you can use formula, mean formula for that. And second one is you can decide based on number of items that you have used in your questionnaire. So if you have 50 items in your questionnaire, you just take 10x of it. So 50 into 10 means it is 500, or it is standard sample size for when population is more than 10,000. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is rephrasing. It is you generated it, no? You are just asking ChatGPT to tell it in a professional way or in a standard way. But the original, that particular material is yours. You can do it. It will not be, it is not detected in AI content. So if whole together you are asking, please generate me some review of literature part or introduction part regarding so and so topic to ChatGPT, it will. Yes, it will do, madam. Everything it will do. Yes, it will be identified. Yeah, so that is what we can do is first let us write in our own words, even if it is grammatically wrong, connecting wise, no problem. We have to write what as per our thinking, our understanding. So once it is ready, you can GPT, please rephrase this in a professional way, or you can also tell it, give it in a API style. It will give. Even interpretation you can write in a API style. Result you can write in a API style. ChatGPT knows it. But before that, you should write what that particular result is meant for you. But even if you see, ChatGPT does everything, everybody knows. It is not just ChatGPT. There are so many AI tools we can use it for research purpose. It can do many things for us. Even there are people, madam, they can generate whole research paper and we can humanize it. And there is another another AI tool for that. But that is not wrong. We should. Same, madam, turn it in itself will. Yes, it will. Turn it in all these, Urkund will do it. So whenever we check plagiarism, it will result for two things. One for similarity index, another for AI content. Separate, the same, when it process will give result for whether it is a humanized text or it is AI generated text. If so, to what extent? If you have used only for introduction AI, then it will tell percentage wise out of total words, how many percentage, what percentage you have. Careful, because see, even most of the standard journals, they have clearly given in the guidelines, madam. They never said that ChatGPT or AI tools you should not use. You should use it, but for enhancing the beauty of that research work, not to create the research work. That should be taken very seriously nowadays. Any other questions, madam? Any other questions? Comments, no comments. People are there, no? Yes. Madam, Hicks anta ide ondu. Hicks. HIX. You can use it, but it is paid version. See, that's what we do is first let us write in our own way. ChatGPT to rephrase it, madam. That is the best way. So if at all you generated any AI content, if you organize it, there are so many tools available. One as for me is Hicks. That is the best. So if you just give content, but there will be some errors, madam. So context may change. So that should be, you should be very careful when you are humanizing AI content. So once again, you have to read it. If there are any changes, you can make it, you can make it. It will do, definitely. But you have to get a subscription option is there. 2000 or 2500 you have to pay for 50,000 words. Only you can just humanize 50,000 words for 2,000 rupees. Any other questions? Yes, two important aspects are there. So once our research paper is ready, next step is choosing the right journal for publication. See what criteria we should choosing a good journal for our research work. So first, every journal we have to see this. The first one is scope and aim. Whether my research work is matching the scope and aim of that particular journal. So that we have to see. So for example, I have done a research work on related to not publish that in some other journal, which is mainly talking about marketing and HR. So that's what every have mention clearly what is the scope and aim, so that we have to read clearly whether that matches with my research work. And next very important thing, that journal, whether it is indexed in Scopus or Web of Science, we have to publish which are indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. And another important thing which we should consider is or SJR or H index. This will be there for each journal. So impact factor, some journals will give it, okay, but some journals will, they are actually indexed in Scopus, but have very limited, or less impact factor. That is also fine. But usually high H index, you might have, you might have any idea about it. H index means it talks about the productivity and the citation part of that particular research journal. So H means here Hirsch, you might have heard. So for example, if they have published 20 articles, okay, from that particular journal, how many times, okay, each of these articles. So for example, out of 10, all 10 minimum 10 times it is cited by others. It means then H index will be 10, like that. So usually for management and commerce, it should be more than 50. So that can be one criteria you can consider. And review process, sometimes some journals follow double blind review. It means author also does not know who is the reviewer. Reviewer also does not know, author of that particular research work. In peer reviewed, so usually expert in that particular field go through our research paper and check for suitability of publication. So this we have to take care of. And this is again very important. We have to look at and time to publication. So acceptance rate means, so if 100 papers are submitted by research work researchers, so how many papers they accept it? 10% means out of 100, only 10 papers are accepted. Means it shows sometimes quality. Okay. So there are research papers, journals, acceptance rate is just 5%, 2%, 3%. And sometimes time to publication, this will be given in terms of days that we have to look at. Sometimes if we are very eager and also looking for publication in shorter period, then we have to look for journals which can publish in a shorter period of time. And this is again very important thing is, so APC's article processing charges. Journal will charge this, that too in dollars. will be $1,000, $2,000, which we can't afford. But those journals will give us some option. Open access option is there, subscription based option is there. See, open access means what? See, open access means the author has to pay APC. So if my paper should be available to everybody in that field, it means I have to pay that $1,000 or $2,000, whatever it is. So subscription based, so I need not to pay APC. Journal will charge for my research work if somebody is asking for that. So they will recover APC charges from readers. So usually it is always an access because the amount of APC will be very high. $1,000 means it is just 85,000 at current price. So these things we have to take care of. And so there are some tools, okay, to find out journal. So these are some tools. So journal finder is there. So I can show you the internet area. Just click here. Click ಮಾಡಿ. So this is Elsewhere's, a particular website is there. I have given link there. So here what you can do, you can just give keywords or the entire abstract you can copy and paste. Okay, and then you can click on find journals. So based on your abstract, it will suggest your work. You can search even through keywords. Keywords, aims and scope are, I'll just give here one name. Behavioral finance. So it is just giving me which and all journals are suitable for that particular research work. The first one is Journal of Banking and Finance. So here it will give me impact factor, site score, and time to first decision. You can see 54 days they will take minimum. It's an average based on their historical experience. And time for acceptance, you see 508 days. We have to wait almost 2 years. Acceptance rate is 13%. So they charge $3,340 if you are choosing open access way. So there is no subscription for this one. And more. So likewise, it will give so many journals. Okay, you can search and finalize which journal is suitable for your research work. That is in Scopus, madam. This is here it is just about journal part. That also I'll show you later. So that is one way to find out the journal. And second one is Springer Journal Suggester also is there. Same way like Elsevier. This is actually not there now. They are cancelling UGC care list. But if there is any portal like this, for example, we have ABDC journalist, you can just refer that. Scopes or Web of Science portal, you can go and find out which is the journal for your research work. So, Scopus also. See, the management and faculty members, we should concentrate on some of the quality journals. So the first such quality journals are FT50. The Financial Times group, they have identified top 50 journals that are exclusively for management and management strategy, marketing strategies. So these are used for business school ranking and journals, very toughest journals we can talk about. If you have one publication of these, it means you are great. So, so many B school and the best B school even give financial incentives to faculty members if they publish in these kind of research paper, research journals. Even Tapni is one of the best B schools in Karnataka. So they give, I think, 20 lakhs if you have A star journal publication or FT50 journal publication. So Nim college al idiya ilvo gottilla, I don't know. Here also no, right? So list is there, I have given. You can just click. I'll leave this PPT with you. You can find out what. And next one we have this Simago journal rank. This is Scopus indexed. So rank based on citation and impact factor using Scopus database. So in Scopus database, there are around 30,000 journals across various domains. So here they actually classify the journal based on the ranking, that too rank. So there are certain journals which are categorized as Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So Q1 means in ranking 76 to 100%, whatever journals comes there, it is categorized as Q1 journal. So I'll show you here. So here you can search, journal by title, author, or ISI sign. So like that you can, you just give maybe later. Every journal has a side score will be there and the highest percentile. So 99. This percentile is, see, journal is getting a percentile from 76 to 100%. It means it is a Q1 journal, right? For every quarter they are Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, but top 25 journals are Q1 journals, and from 51% to 75% is Q2 journal. Likewise, 26% to 50% it is Q3, like that. So likewise, each journal you can just click on this, you will get detailed information about that particular journal. So, another doubt is there, madam? But here only you will get, madam. Here only you will get this percentage you can look at. This is very important. Here they have given some 1/404. What it means, it is a ranking in that particular field. So finance, if it is I don't know, it is related to some medical field. So in that field, it is ranked number 1. Out of 404 journals, this journal is the top rank. It's a top one. So it has total citation of 92,000 and they have published so far 106 articles. So that is based on that they calculate site score. Site score is around, so such a bigger one, 873.2 medical, that too. What, madam? It's just top, madam. So here you can choose title, publisher, or ISSN, and you can enter subject area, or if you know title, you can just, here you can mention any finance, accounting, something like that. So you want marketing, just apply and all likewise. Go back. Yeah, I've given the link to open it. It 3 years citation data, madam. Yeah, 3 years. I think 3 or 2 years, max to max. So if it is not performing next to During that period, he was published. No problem. So when you had published it, it was Q1 journal only. That is considered. So, but now it might have changed. No, that. So usually there will not be any changes, madam. Usually. So if at all journal is involved in some, scams and all, definitely it will maintain. If at all, then during that time it was there, no? So that will be considered. It was performing better when you published it. It was a top journal, Q1 journal. So these are some of the examples. International Journal of Business Studies, Q1 journal. Research policy is Q1 journal. So in innovation, technology and management. So next we have this Web of Science. Here also we have some journals related to management. Same way you can, what Scopus source, same way you can get it. So they actually rank based on impact factor. So here we have for social science, SSCI, Social Science Citation Index. Under that we have journals related to commerce and management. People think that, oh, it is science. No, it is not related to us. No, it is not like that. And this is again very important categories of journals available. This is ABDC is Australian Business Deans Council. So the B schools, around 37 B schools, they have a forum. They sit together every 2 years, 3 years, and they rank which are the best journals. The rank they have given this A star journal, A journal, B journal, and C journal. So there are around 2,800 journals they have ranked, okay, exclusively for India, Australia, and the Pacific. So you can download that list. It is anyway, I have given that list. It is there in the folder. You can use it. So Journal of Marketing is a star journal. Journal of Retailing and Consumer Service is a journal. But we should be very careful about certain journals. Okay, they look like the best journals, but they are not. So we come across two such type of predatory journals. What they do is, it's a fake or unethical journal that charges publication fees, and they can accept your paper within a day or two. Okay, and there will not be any peer review process. If you just pay them, they will ensure that your paper is published. So you will lose your reputation in the field. So poor and no editorial board, they charge higher APC, and they are not in UGC, nor Scopus, nor Web of Science. So you should be careful about name. Look exactly name they use, International Journal of Modern Research. So just by looking at this title, sometimes we will be fooled. Careful about this. But if you just click on this, there is a link here. If you click this characteristics link, you will come to know which are all predatory journals available there. So that you can know. Since time is not there, I'm just not. Clone journal is a fraudulent copy of legitimate reputed journal. It looks exactly same, okay, in terms of name, ISSN, even in terms of websites. So they mislead authors. So for example, I'll just show you, UGC CARE has done a wonderful job in this regard. Cloned journals. So it will just take some time. See this, what you see here, this is actually genuine journal, okay? So there is something which looks same. It's a cloned journal which is not listed in UGC CARE. Likewise, they have made a list. This link I have shared with you. Be careful with this, because you see, this name is also here, Adalya. Language, same language, English. So publisher, somebody, they have not mentioned who is the publisher. You can look at the ISSN is almost same. And website, they use some, new source. Be very careful about this. So likewise, there are so many journals in commerce, management, science, all this. So they imitate the name of ISSN of reputed journal, except this is via unofficial emails or WhatsApp. So unofficial means there will not be any, their organization domain will not be there in the email or website. Often they host on suspicious or newly created website. So how to avoid? Always check the Scopus or Web of Science website. Submitting to unknown emails or portals, please avoid this. Visit official website of that particular journal, and don't send any of your research work through WhatsApp or Telegram. Confirm ISSN publisher details. Look for peer review and editorial board information. Here, fast acceptance and publication promises. So if you a journal promises fast publication and ask for money, it means that it is a predatory or clone journal. Always check Scopus listed for safer. So these things we have to follow. Selecting a right journal, ABC. ABC is there. It's an UK based list. Scopus, Web of Science, adherent to ethical standard. No sub. So even though they take 1 year to have patience and structuring manuscript as per author's guidelines, and there should be peer review process. So sometimes they will respond. If they are to modify, please modify and send it. They will accept it, or sometimes they will reject it. So rejection is okay, no problem. Right. So post publication, what we can do? Link our research work in Google Scholar, Publons or Kudos or SSRN. So we can also link to our ORCID ID. So because we will be available, our work is visible to many people if you don't do this. Okay. So this will definitely recognize in terms of citation, H index, I10 index. We will get feedback from experts in the field, and also we'll get networking opportunities, collaborating across. So if we have really done a great work, research work, people may contact across the globe to collaborate with us and do research work. And the last part is this one, research ethics and integrity. Any questions regarding publication part? That's what, do a research for that. So fast publication chances are there, madam. You have to just look for those journals. You copy your abstract and paste it in Elsevier journal finder website and go through all those journals. Minimum, Elsevier, that Scopus is Elsevier's only, madam. That is the owner of. So Elsevier will tell, that's journal finder, what I'm telling you, it will tell which journal is suitable for your research work. So it will just give you the list of journals where publish. So when it gives list, then you sort it by number of days, the minimum number of days it takes for publication, first acceptance. Yeah, there only it will give list, madam. Every journal will show you what is minimum days they will take for first reply. So some journals, definitely they will do it fast. I have published, I have just submitted 8 months ago, 4 research. Still I have not got any even single mail 8 months ago. We have to wait simultaneously to different journals. That is not ethical. So I'll just show you one. The professor in field. Okay. So recently I found this in LinkedIn. There were so many retractions. You might have heard about retractions. Retractions means taking back or canceling your research paper. So India ranks, I think, 7th or 8th place. So this person has so many journals. Recently, he was banned by some of the SAGE group because of some modifications, data modifications, manipulations. These things happened. So just because to quickly gain reputation in the field or promotion, getting promotion or recognition, we should not go for this kind of work. So we will definitely look field. Sometimes we will be banned by so many research institutions across the globe. Should be very careful about this. So why it is important? Because so ethical integrity is very much fundamental for maintaining trust, advancement of knowledge in this particular, whatever field we are in. So we have to follow the ethical process during all the stages of our research work. So the first one is pre-writing phase. So design study, if we require, we have to get it. Okay. And we should never harm the social values. Any caste, cadre, color, all those things we have to take care of. We should avoid misconduct in terms of or conflict of interest. Sometimes what we'll do, if we don't get the result of our expectation, we do it, no, our students will do it, right? So that is not ethical. Sometimes the result, whatever we have got, that is not as per hypothesis. I will change the result and report it. So that is also not thing. Conflict of interest will be there sometimes. It means my research work is sometimes personal benefit may be there or financial benefit is there. So that we should avoid. And there is a guideline given. So committee on publication ethics. There is a committee, the global committee, they have given guidelines to authors, journals, and all the stakeholders who are involved in this research work. We should always follow that whenever we are involved in research work. So during research phase, so during our writing, we should be honest and transparency. It means we have to accurately present the data. Whatever data result we have got, that we have to present it, whether it is satisfying our objectives or not, but we have to present it. Avoid selective reporting. Sometimes what will happen, I'm conducting 3-4, I'm using 3-4 statistical tests. One of the statistical test has not given the good result, so I will not report it. Selective will not be there. So proper citation practice we should follow. So here, whomever, okay. So when especially no self citation. So citations, we are going to cite our own work. So this happens many a time. Cartels, you know that. So 4-5 people, we make a group. I tell you cite my work, I cite your work in my research. So that is not ethical. No inflated citations. Showing more number of citations in the same research. No cohesive review request. So reviewer sometimes tell us you cite my work in particular your research work. This also will happen. And authorship ethics. No ghost honorary authorship. No ghost means somebody has done my work and I'm publishing in my name. So that is no ghost. Honorary authorship. So our HOD is very good to me. He will consider, sometimes it happens. So I'm just for honorary purpose, I'm giving authorship for my HOD or head of the institution, something like that. So that should not happen. So there should be a clear contribution of each researcher to that particular. Good publication practice is there, so we have to follow it. That is more than. So after publication, so after our research is done, so peer review process will be there. Here we should respond them properly whenever we message from the reviewer. We should address all the concern. There should be anonymity, no disclosure of authors as well as reviewers details. So double blind review, whatever I'm talking about. Avoid simultaneous submissions. So sometimes what will happen, just to publish our work fast, we are 2-3 research journals. So that should not happen. So this scope guidelines is main for everything. So publish or perish should not be, stage here. So you publish it, but have a patience. Okay. So today we cannot give excuse because why? This particular is free today. Research Rabbit is free. Zotero is free. ChatGPT Basic is free. Grammarly is free. Overleaf is free. We have data. Everything is available at a free of cost today. So we cannot give excuse, sir, I don't have laptop, I don't have data, I don't have any good data research papers. So such excuses are not, entertained nowadays. So, and the last one is, so is a journey of curiosity, clarity, and contribution. That's what I said. So research should be an inspiration for all of us. So we should, research should not be a fashion, it should be a passion. So then only we can contribute, impactfully to our field. So good research paper is always structured. It is IMRD, format. It is ethical and impactful. Choose always right journal based on, some indexation like Web of Science or, Scopus. Maintain integrity in writing, citation, and publication. So let our in a particular field of study. So let me conclude with this purpose: publish with pride and contribute with integrity. So our research work should be inspiring, and it should be impactful in the field of domain that we are. So if there are any questions, I'm open for questions. So there is no easy thing, madam. But if following this IMRD format and this structure, and if we are really ethical and type of research work what we have chosen is really going to create any impact, relevant ide, topic is highly relevant, highly impactful andre, any journal will accept it, madam. But there is no any shortcut. If you ask me, a good journal take time, so we should be ready for that. So that's what research should be, a continuous one. It is not one time act. One activity, one research, move on to second one. Forget about, will be published. You should have a time, if you want to really publish in quality journals, you have to, there is no any shortcut. Minimum nowadays research journals will take minimum 6 to 8 months for publication. Minimum 6 to 8 months. So that's what we should be continuously work. We should forget that, oh, that journal I, now they accept it after 2, 3 years. That should be our reaction. Questions there, madam? No questions. Huh? Online, friends, if you have any questions, put them in the comment box. Please feel free to ask any questions related to that time. If you want to ask, they can ask no question. They can, yeah, you can raise hand and ask question, no problem. Some informative, right? So there is something to take away, which you can apply in your research work. Yes, who is that? So Prakash, sir, your question. You can unmute now. So you can unmute and ask questions, sir. But speaker is there, huh? Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much, organizers, for giving me an opportunity to come over here. I think I could justify your time. Uh, so thank you so much for the opportunity and patience. So I hope you have understood everything. Not have understood anything. That's what. No questions from you. Uh, but I take it positively that you got something today out of our session. So thank you all the organizers, HOD principals, sir, Veena, and all the faculty members for tolerating me for last 1.5 hour. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my privilege and honor to deliver the word of thanks for today's insightful session on mastering the art of research writing, conducted as part of our faculty development program. First and foremost, I extend our gratitude to Dr. Kantesha S., Assistant Professor, Government First Grade College, Bettampady, for taking time to share his experience with us. With his rich academic background, profound research experience, and practical insights into behavioral finance methodology, today was nothing short of enlightening. His clear articulation, practical tips, and focus on the nuances of quality research writing have not only clarified many complex aspects of academic writing, but have also inspired us to strive for greater rigor and clarity in our own research pursuits. I also wish to thank all the participants for their active engagement, thoughtful questions, and enthusiastic response, which contributed to the success of this session. A special word of appreciation goes to our organizing committee and technical support team whose meticulous planning ensured the smooth execution of today's program. Once again, thank you, Dr. Kantesha, for your valuable contribution. We look forward to more such enriching interactions in the future. Now I request Dr. Veena Strai to present the token of love on behalf of MBA department to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Kande.